It is the Bird Call with Zack Brown. Zack coming to us from Boynton Beach, Florida. Zack, how's it going down there?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good up here. What's the card looking like tonight, Zack?
I got, MTSU. Got to put my boys on.
Think they're gonna cover the spread over UTSA tonight?
They have to.
Especially,
where my money is.
You think they're gonna bounce back after that loss on Saturday?
Oh, they better.
They better. They gave up the most points in a game to a single person that has ever scored in a UAB jersey in a single game. 42 points to Walker on Saturday.
The first half was good now. First half.
Yeah,
Second half.
A little bit of a collapse right down the stretch of the first half, especially with some of those shots that Walker was just hitting. There was just nothing you could do about a couple of them.
But yeah, if we don't bounce back, I might have to take my marbles off the boys.
I would say,
riding my Raiders.
You're looking at a team though right now that's best in the nation when it comes to covering the spread. So I'd say you have a pretty good chance tonight, especially for a team that's undefeated at home right now too. 10-0. So I'd look for them to come out and be pretty strong tonight.
Yeah, I like it. Now, to go against one of your picks, I got Texas over the Jayhawks.
You got Texas over the Jayhawks? That? Hey, I don't know about that one, Zack Brown. You're going to have to give me your reasoning for that.
Dude, it's one of them gut feelings. Texas at home. Last week, the Jayhawks, I believe, lost to someone or a week or two ago, and I was just like, I said they're going to lose again here to the Longhorns. I like them tonight.
That loss came to a team that was out of conference, though. And that team happened to be the Kentucky Wildcats as well, who's proven to be a very hot team here recently. You also look at a team
Kentucky is one of those teams that's going to go far in the March Madness.
You look at that same weekend too. Texas was lucky to escape with a win over Tennessee by 1 point. So I'm not quite so sure how that's going to translate. I think the Jayhawks probably take it tonight, and I really don't think it's that close either.
Really? We'll see. I think it's close. I think Texas pulls through.
Well, I'll have to disagree to disagree with you right there.
Now, on the topic of Texas, though, they don't have a game tonight, but Texas Tech, they are covering spreads left and right now.
Is that your lock of the night?
No, they're not playing tonight. But my lock of the night's the MTSU spread.
Lock of the night's MTSU spread? I don't know, man. That's just a really, really long point total right there. Last I checked, I think it was sitting at about 11.5. I don't know if it's moved since then.
When I put it in, it was 12.5.
So you look, it has moved a little bit. At this point, I would say that the best choice for a lock of the night would probably have to be the Florida A&M University game. I just have a really good feeling that's probably going to be the best one. You were talking about...
Yeah, that's what I was telling about the Hornets tonight.
Oh, you're taking the Hornets tonight? I love the Hornets tonight, dude. I think it's going to be a really good game, especially with both those teams having the exact same records so far this year. The Raptors, I don't think, have looked like the greatest team on the road. They've been a lot stronger at home up there in Canada, and with them having to come on the road to Charlotte tonight, I don't see them personally getting it done. I think you're probably going to see a good night from guys like LaMelo and Mikal Bridges. Looking especially at a team that can guard that position.
Charlotte as a lock and Miami as a lock.
You have Miami as a lock, too. Miami's on the road tonight, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, but I believe they're favored.
Are they favored in that game, Jalen?
I think the spread is 5.5. So I'm just going to run
Miami.
Miami. It's not popping up. It's locked for me on FanDuel.
Oh, so it's locked right now. So that means the line is just moving up and down a lot right now. So who do they have tonight, Zach?
Who are they playing?
The Wizards. They're at the Wizards.
Ooh, they're at
Wizards. Yeah, that's it.
I would say they probably get the job done up there tonight. The Wizards haven't looked like a very good team this year so far. I went to the Memphis Grizzlies game when they were playing the Washington Wizards back on January 29th, and that wasn't that close of a game at all. Bradley Beal is basically a 1.5-man show out there with Kyle Kuzma. Kuzma had a pretty good night that night against the Grizzlies, but overall this year he's been very mediocre. What'd you do this weekend? You watching any good games?
Oh, that Georgia-Auburn game.
Dude, I thought the Dogs were going to pull it out for you, man, on Saturday.
I thought so, too. I was watching, getting hype. I was like, Mom, we're going to Athens tonight.
I thought after that and one with about 1 minute and 34 left or so that Georgia probably had it in the bag, and then they missed that free throw. And that
they missed that free throw, and then down the stretch, they couldn't get that basket in, and then Auburn ran down there and put it in on them. It's like, well, fuck.
Georgia had several chances when you look back at that game, too, where they could have definitely won it down the stretch outside of just that and 1-2. They really just faltered right there towards the end and had some big problems. So you got to be proud if you're Tom Crean, though, of a Georgia team that's only got 6 wins on the year, for them coming out and putting out that type of effort at home, because,
Dude, it makes you question
when you have this
what is up with Auburn.
Well,
with that close game with Georgia and then Mizzou?
I think most of the part on that game is, for the most part, is when you look at it, it's two teams that are very close together when it comes to their hometowns. It's a big rivalry game. I've always tried to tell people, outside of the Iron Bowl, inside of football, once you get outside of the realm of football, I honestly, truly believe that the biggest rivalry in the SEC is probably Georgia versus Auburn. I think that those two fan bases think of each other as probably their main two rivals once you get outside of football. So I think part of it was it's a rivalry game. You always see teams like Vanderbilt and Tennessee and Kentucky play each other well, Florida. So when you look at a game like that, I think it just happened to be two rival teams. You have a team like Georgia that has 6 wins on the year. They're looking to salvage their season any way they can, whether it be morally or so. They're looking more for a moral win right there, man. It's great for a program's image if you got some of those guys that are returning next year. You win that game, you get the students to storm the court. That puts some energy into the program and maybe boosts them going into next year because it's already just so late in the year this year. They've just got absolutely no chance of really doing anything. They're going to be one of the last seeds when it comes to the SEC tournament. I don't think they're really going to make any noise come SEC tournament time. I highly doubt that they're going to win a game on the road in a neutral venue.
Yeah, I don't see it happen.
So I really don't think Auburn's as good as their ranking suggests.
No, they're not. After that game, the Mizzou game in Georgia, they should not be number one.
I think they just happen to be really, really good at home for the most part.
And honestly, dude, if Kentucky's player hadn't got injured, they would have won that game down in Auburn.
You have any bad beats from the weekend?
What does that mean? Bad beats? Like where I just got stopped?
Anything you lost right there at the last minute? Something that you thought you maybe had, and then it got out of the bag.
Well, not last minute, but I thought, Auburn's spread was going to be a lock, and that obviously wasn't.
No, dude, did not even come close. I mean,
no, I thought Auburn's spread would be a lock, and I thought MTSU's spread would be a lock.
Man, yeah, that's a depressing one.
And I think UT Rio Grande fucked me too, dude.
Did they? Well,
dude, they didn't cover the spread.
That's what you get for betting on a team that you can't even watch.
No,
Again, Zach?
They do that. They cover spreads now. But they just did it this past week.
I'm disappointed in you, Zack Brown, on that one. You got to quit betting on teams that you can't watch.
When Auburn fumbles their bag, UT Rio Grande fumbles theirs.
You think that's what it is? You think there's a connection there?
I mean, according to my previous bets, there is a connection.
Oh, man. You're telling me about looking at the signs. You got to look at the signs. Pay attention to the signs, Zack Brown.
I need to.
Well, we are another week closer to the Super Bowl, too, Zach. Have you thought about any more prop bets or any type of thing? Any developments in your realm that makes you think differently about the game right now?
Dude, I'm really starting to, have concerns about Eli Apple.
Oh, yeah. I seen that beef that he has with Tyreek Hill going on Twitter right now.
Just like, I don't know. I think he's going to, if there's a downfall, he's going to be it.
He's guarding OBJ, so
he is guarding OBJ.
We'll see how that plays out.
That'll be very interesting because who are they going to have? Are they going to have Hargraves over on Cooper Kupp? You think?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think it'll be a pretty interesting matchup. But yeah, Eli Apple, you look at him; he really wasn't too impressive when he was with the New York Giants before they moved him down there.
He was awful.
You're talking about a guy who in college was, he was standout at Ohio State. So. He's got really good length to him. He's got good size.
Florida. He went to Florida too, correct?
No, he went to Ohio State.
Oh, okay. I thought he went to Florida. Yeah,
when he was at Ohio State too, he happened to be on one of those teams. I think his junior year before he came out into the draft. The big thing that put a damper on that season for them was they lost to Michigan State. It was in the Big 12 championship game.
Yep.
I can't remember who was Michigan State's quarterback at the time. He took the trophy during that game out of Archie Griffin's hand, just absolutely disrespected him and stuff. That's always going to be something that's ingrained into my memory. But yeah, the whole Eli Apple situation, that'll be really interesting. I would expect him to come out at him pretty early. It's going to be interesting for somebody like OBJ too. he's every time they win a playoff game, he's making another step forward in his career where he's never been before. Right. So you never know exactly how the dude's going to perform either.
I think he's going to ball out, but I still think the Bengals get it done.
I also think it's going to be interesting. Stafford's picks. Is he going to throw picks or is he not going to throw picks? What kind of game will it be for Stafford?
I don't know. I think you can guarantee him to throw at least one pick. It happens in almost every single game, and it's happened. Has it happened in all the playoff games so far where he's at least thrown one? He has thrown at least one in all of them so far. He threw one to the Buccaneers, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I know he threw one in the NFC Championship.
And then I know he threw one last week. So, but
he had two last week.
Yeah. I don't know. Overall, I think the Rams had a little bit more trouble with the 49ers than I thought they're going to have. I think another thing to be worried about if you're a Rams fan is when you looked over at the overall stadium makeup of the fans in the stadium at SoFi last week, there were a lot of 49ers fans in there. And, for the Super Bowl, that's a game where most of the seats are bought up by corporate sponsors, and then they're given out to their employees and stuff like that. So I'm not really quite sure what the ratio is going to be. I don't know if there's going to be more Rams fans or if there's going to be more Cincy fans overall. So I think that'll be another interesting aspect of the game when it comes to it.
Well, did you see what I believe it was Chad Ochocinco, what he tweeted? How are the real fans even supposed to go with those damn prices?
Well, I don't know how much it can value.
There's going to be a few diehard fans there, but the real actual fans that are out there cheering for their team all season, they ain't going. They ain't got that kind of money.
Nah.
Dropping $10,000 for a fucking ticket?
Absolutely not. And, the reason that those tickets are that expensive is because I was talking about the whole corporate sponsor aspect where they already are giving most of them before the game. So it already limits them to a certain amount of, what the real fans can get their hands on.
Now, remember last week we were talking with Cole Bradley about the national anthem.
Yeah, you want to put a... Mickey Guidance from Nashville. I found that out.
The national anthem singer?
I
didn't know that. I didn't know that. So she sang at one of the Vanderbilt baseball games that me and Cody actually attended last year. Yeah, we had.
Oh, yeah, apologies to her.
Yeah, so it goes kind of hand in hand on the part of Black History Month. The NFL kind of took a page out of their social justice handbook, and so they decided to use her. She's kind of a rare black country music singer from the female side of things. So
I don't think I've ever heard of a black female country singer.
Especially performing at the Super Bowl. So.
Mickey.
Right.
Wait, y'all heard her where?
We saw her at a Vanderbilt baseball game.
I had never even heard of her.
Well, she's up and coming, so. But I think it's cool that the NFL's giving somebody that has a little bit smaller of a platform that type of shot.
The biggest platform in the world.
I originally thought it was Beyonce, I think is what I told John.
But her being her now, I don't know if I'll take that under on the 2 minutes that Cole was talking about. I'll probably take that over on.
Well, I'm going under.
You're still going under?
Wait, we're talking about the national anthem.
We're talking about the
I thought y'all were talking about the halftime show.
No, the halftime show is still Snoop Dogg and all those guys.
There's that black female that is.
Kendrick Lamar.
There's the black female that's.
Speaking of black females, you see that
J.
picture of Lizzo yesterday?
Oh yes, that was terrible.
Well, shit, Zach, what's on tap for you the rest of the week? You gonna bet on any more games over the rest of the week in terms of getting geared up for the Super Bowl, getting your motors ready? You gonna go hit Tin Roof at all? See who's down there, Sandbar maybe.
Roof. Love that place.
I'll probably hit Sandbar. Sandbar is always a good place to go during the week. Got a good view.
How's the temperature feeling down there right now?
We're looking at today felt kind of hot, so let me check. I think we're at 78, 77.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah.
We're freezing up here, Zack Brown.
Yep. Well, thanks for joining us again today. Hope you have a good one.
Anytime.
See you, Big Bird. See you, Zack Brown.
All right, and that's the bird call. We got MTSU tonight. They are playing the UTSA Roadrunners, sitting at 8-14 on the year. MTSU coming off a road loss in Birmingham on Saturday against a really good UAB team. UAB had a player set their overall scoring record in a single game. Really bad-looking loss for McDevitt and the guys down there. Couldn't cover the spread. Best against the spread all year. It'll be really interesting to see how they bounce back in a place like the Glass House tonight where they've been undefeated on the year. Zach, you got anything to add to that?
I'm just excited. I'll be going to the game, so that starts here at 6 p.m. Central. So I think they'll do it. I mean, it's UTSA. Yeah. So I mean, and they played good against Birmingham. I mean, for the most part, they still put up like 75 points. I mean, and that's a hard place to play from what I can understand. They're the first in our conference right now, too, right?
Yeah. So one of the things that makes it so hard too. I mean, when you got a guy like Walker that was shooting the way he was for UAB, first of all, that's going to be something. I remember me and Cody, we went to the game, and he hit a shot there towards the end of the first half where he was fading into the corner on the right side of the court, where when he made that shot, you looked at him at that point and it was just like, all right, he's just going to have one of those nights. There's nothing you can do about it when a guy's that hot. So, they let up the big problem. Final score in that game was 96-75. Biggest problem in that game by far and away. When you let up 96 points in an NCAA basketball game, there's only 40 points in the game, so they're scoring a substantial amount. Your defense has got to play better. I know UAB physically, Cody, you can probably speak to it too. They were physically they outmatched MTSU. However, MTSU shouldn't have lost the game by as many points as they lost by. Definitely, I think, should have covered the spread. It's like Zach said, they put up 75 points, and 75 points is nothing to be frowned upon in NCAA basketball.
Yeah,
you just got to play better on the defensive side. So hopefully they can get back on track tonight against a team that's really, really struggling this year in UTSA. UTSA is just going to be trying to play the role of spoilers. So, I've really pressed this year so far about how teams on the road in NCAA basketball, especially at the mid-major or the lower levels of basketball, have been really bad on the road this year. I mean, you even saw this last weekend. I was talking about it with Zach right there on the bird call. Auburn, they went over to Georgia, who only has 6 wins on the season, and they almost lost a game outside of the jungle. So it's just a really wonky year, especially for some of these lower-level mid-major teams. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight over there in the Glass House. Jalen, are you going to be going to it?
I'm not going, unfortunately. I got to go back to Manchester. But, be excited to see MTSU play at home.
Is it on TV? I don't know.
No, it'll probably be covered on ESPNU or something like that.
Yeah, I think it will be. Most college basketball games are. So,
yeah.
But, MTSU undefeated at home. I don't think they're breaking that streak tonight. So, love MTSU tonight.
UTSA is at about 8-14 on the year, so they haven't been very good away from home, especially. I think most of that, they might be. I don't know if any of their wins have come on the road this year. So,
and you got to support the boys either way. It doesn't matter.
I mean, we're going MTSU all the way.
Right with the Blue Boys.
Do you honestly think they're going to cover that spread though of 11.5? 14-7 record versus 8-14 record. Playing at home versus a team that's struggling.
I don't know. It didn't look like scoring was really our problem last game.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Scoring is not going to be a problem tonight. I bet you Jefferson goes for about – I'll go ahead and put it down right now. He goes for at least 27. 27. Yeah. Flamethrower tonight. Jefferson gets hot.
Yeah, we had a lot of boys shooting the ball really well. We just couldn't stop number 41 or number 10 for nothing in the last game.
Put up 42 points. So
yeah. So other than that, we were looking – I mean, if we could have just converted and not turned it over sometimes, we could have – easily kept up with scoring with them, I believe, last game.
I think if we can keep up the wins at home, I think we'll start to see a bunch more people go into the games and stuff. I'm thinking tonight will probably be a few more people than usual. Yeah, hopefully we can keep that up because it
definitely would have been nicer if they had won on Saturday. I think the turnout for tonight would have been a lot better, especially from just the regular fan standpoint. I feel like the students are going to have a fairly good little showing there tonight. Just because the team's undefeated at home this year, and they're coming back on Saturday and are going to be at home at against Rice again. So it's a good little chance to build up some momentum for the team, especially going into the end of the season and heading towards conference tournament time. It's always good to get a really good conference seed in those tournaments because you're going to have to win that in order to make it into the tournament. We saw that with the team back in 2018, who literally lost 2 games all of conference play, and they happened to go into the tournament and lose their very first game in the conference tournament and got an at-large bid for the NIT, but nothing outside of that. So it's really important to build this momentum down the end of the season, especially when you're playing at home against teams that really aren't that great. Rice really isn't that great either. So they need to come out and have a good showing tonight. With that, let's go ahead and get into our college basketball picks on the night because there's a lot of those games going on. Jalen, what you got over there?
For college?
Yep.
Tonight, I love Tennessee Tech at home against Eastern Illinois.
Really? They've been struggling all year.
That's why I like them. I mean,
I saw that they had a pretty good lead on Belmont the other night, and then they just blew it over the last quarter of the game. I think they were up by 21 at one point almost.
Right. Yeah, I feel like because of that blown lead with Belmont, get a little fire under their ass and kick it up a little bit and actually get a good lead and keep it. And my other one is Chattanooga minus 4.5 at Mercer tonight. Got to support the Tennessee boys, Chattanooga Monarchs. So. Yeah, those are mine for tonight. The college basketball picks for tonight.
All right. You got any intuition on the MTSU game? That line, by the way, has moved from 11.5 up to 12.5 now.
Cool. Me on the MTSU game?
Yeah. Do you have anything on that?
Riding with the Blue Boys.
All right.
MTSU minus 12.5.
All right. Well, Zach, you got anything tonight outside of the MTSU game?
I'm gonna ride that too, but no, not for tonight. I didn't really look too much at college for tonight. But I got a college game tomorrow. Auburn and Arkansas. Auburn at Arkansas. Like you said, they almost lost to Georgia. Arkansas just beat Georgia at Georgia, like 99-75 or something, and that was on Wednesday. So that should be a good game. It's at Arkansas.
In Bud Walton Arena. Now, who is it that they have again?
Auburn.
Oh, they have Auburn at Bud Walton Arena now. So, that'll be really interesting.
I think Arkansas at home's only like plus 125 right now.
Yeah, so I would definitely look into that. Bud Walton's a historically really hard place to play. I don't know how exactly they've been in there for the most part this season. I know they had one really bad loss, and I believe it was like the second game of SEC played at Vanderbilt. But outside of that, I think they've been pretty good in there this year.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all I got for college for the week for basketball.
All right, well.
I got a little bit of NBA for tonight. Just
right.
one pick.
Well, we'll get to that here in a second. Okay. So right now I've got a lock of the night. I'm 5-1 on those for the month right now. I've got Florida A&M minus 1.5. However, that line at this point has moved up to minus 2.5. I would still definitely take them. You're looking at a team that is way better than the team they're playing against.
That's better if it moved down to minus 2.5, right?
Yeah, it's way better. Yeah. So they've locked my selection at that point on it. I would also say another really good game, if you want to look at it tonight, is UMass Lowell. I have them minus 4.5 on the spread against Hartford. They are UMass Lowell is playing at home, so I always like the home teams this year, especially like I've been talking about in those smaller games. You've got Hartford; they're 5-14 on the year versus a UMass Lowell team that's 11-10. I would definitely take that minus 4.5 spread. I know that it still hasn't moved and that it's available. It's starting right now though, so you got to be quick to hurry on that. Once you get into the end of the night, too, I've also got Kansas money line over Texas. I think that Kansas – I know the game's at Texas. I think Kansas is just an outright better team. They've got one bad loss this year coming to a really good Kentucky team that's been really hot since that win. So I would look for them to come out tonight and take care of business against Texas. They're a 3-win better team and ranked about 13 spots higher on the national top 25 board. So, yeah, I would look for them to come out and handle business tonight. And I guess with that, we can go ahead and move on over to NBA picks. I know, Zach, you were talking about that you have more NBA tonight on the slate than college basketball.
Well, yeah, just going into the first game of the night, I believe it is the first game, we got Toronto at Charlotte.
Yeah, I touched that game. Did you? I got Charlotte on mine.
Yeah, I'm liking Charlotte. So I mean, they're pretty
even. They're even in the standings when it comes to wins and losses,
and they're pretty even against the spread too.
And that's a really
Charlotte's 28-26. They're pretty even on rebound. I think Charlotte lacks a little bit on their offensive rebound.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, I like them at home. I think they're coming off that loss from the Cavs too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm liking them.
Yeah,
That's what I got. And I think it's what is it, plus 105 right now at home.
I don't know. I think I got them when they were about a minus 115 or minus 105, something like that.
Yep. So it's
I think I had them at minus
now.
105 because I think they had Toronto at minus 2.5 last I looked. Toronto. The only thing that I can maybe say about Toronto is that I watched them play a really good game on, I think it was Saturday against the Atlanta Hawks, where they got a really good win. However, I don't believe that they're going to have that game was at home, so I don't think they're going to have quite as good as an outcome on the road down there in Charlotte. So the team that's been trending in a pretty good direction here recently. I mean, they're above 500, 2 games above 500. That's always not a bad thing, especially in the Eastern Conference heading into the All-Star break, because, you always see teams out of the Eastern Conference coming into the playoffs with losing records. I also, along with that, talking about NBA, I've also got that is all I have for NBA tonight. There's not a huge slate of NBA tonight for the most part. Some of those spreads are pretty wide.
Yeah,
also.
I'm looking at the Oklahoma Thunder spread right now. Oklahoma's 32-18 against the spread, and the spread's plus 12.5 right now.
I was looking at that, and it's Oklahoma City. Yeah.
Yep, and it's got the Warriors, and I'm looking at. I mean, the Warriors are pretty good at covering the spread too. They're ranked 8th in covering the spread, but I don't know. That one's kind of that's a lot of points.
Fat line.
It's a lot of points. But it could come out, and the Golden State could come just
on that game. Piggybacking on that game, I do love the over in that game.
209.
209.5.
Yeah,
love that. I mean, it's gonna be a high scoring game. The Warriors are gonna win it. Not sure by 12.5, but yeah, definitely an over game for sure.
Golden State averages 110 points per game, and
they're gonna drop 130 tonight.
The Thunder's only average 101, so I guess that's why they got the spread sitting there.
All right.
Or the over.
I'm just waiting for the Grizzlies to get back on TV again.
Yeah.
They come back tomorrow night, so waiting for that.
Oklahoma City is actually last in the league for points per game.
Ooh.
So, really?
Yeah, that's why that over-under is probably like that. So
maybe they ball out.
Maybe they ball out.
I think the Warriors are going to drop 130 at least.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to shoot lights out. My last NBA pick of the night, I need to quit riding with them, but I love the Suns tonight. I love the Suns -8. In Chicago, Zach LaVine just hasn't been producing a lot lately.
Well, West he's been hurt a lot lately too. And then when you have everything added on top of it, the West versus the East this year, there's not really been too much of a
much of a competition there.
Yeah, so I would say the Suns probably go to Chicago tonight and they take care of business, especially
against the spread.
What's the spread sitting at?
8.5.
Suns -8. Oh, did it move to 8.5?
Yep.
I still like Suns -8.5.
And they are 29-23 on the year against the spread. So
yeah, and Chicago is, like I said, they're a real struggling team. The bread and butter for that Suns team too is their defense.
Yep.
And they can play some pretty good offense along with it. And I don't know who exactly in the middle. I know Markkanen's not going to be able to stop Aiden.
They have the best
Markkanen's not even with them anymore now.
Win-loss ratio.
Screw that.
They have the best win-loss ratio right now too. 42-10.
Yeah,
best record in the NBA. Let me double that game too, because I'm looking at this total and it 227.5. Not sure that, especially with the Suns defense and the Bulls being the way they are, I'm not sure they get to 227.5. So I'm gonna take that under as well.
All right. Cody, you got anything for the night?
NBA baby.
Ooh, Mr. Lucas, you have 0 things on the agenda. That is very disappointing.
He spends his time worried about how we sound and not our picks for the night.
I didn't know that I needed to make picks tonight.
Cody didn't know he needed to fill in for our.
If I knew, I would have known the names of MTSU players I watched the other day. Been able to talk to you about which ones to look for. I like number 15 was pretty cold out there for us.
You mean number 11? Oh, you like number 15? You're talking about the tall guy.
Yeah, the taller guys. We had a couple pretty tall guys that were dropping like 2, 3, 4.
15 and 5. 15 and 5. They were both. I liked them a lot.
They were shooting like 80% from the 3-point line. It seemed like they were making good shots from there too. So I like watching them. Hopefully they do good tonight too.
So tomorrow we got the Clippers at the Grizzlies. That should be a fun game. I mean, the Grizzlies are just gonna. Oh, Alvin Kamara got arrested.
Did he really? For
last
what?
night for battery. He beat the fuck out of somebody at the nightclub after the fucking Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
We gotta
look that up real quick.
After the Pro Bowl last night. Yeah, somebody get the.
Was he at the Pro Bowl?
He was at the Pro Bowl.
Oh.
After the Pro Bowl, it's I don't have the exacts. He went to some nightclub. And end up, I don't know what happened, how it transpired, but he beat the living hell out of him. I'm sure he was
hammered.
Hospitalized the guy.
Girl or guy?
I would assume a guy.
A guy, or else we would have heard.
Here, I got it right here.
You got TMZs?
No, I got the NFL one.
Alvin Kamara arrested for battery in Vegas.
Here, wait
allegedly beat up person in club.
Here, I got it better here. New Orleans Saints star Alvin Kamara was arrested for battery in Las Vegas after allegedly beating someone up in a nightclub Saturday night after the Pro Bowl game. The 26-year-old running back was taken. Oh, this is before the Pro Bowl game. Actually, the 26-year-old running back was taken to Clark County Jail and booked on a charge of battery resulting in serious bodily injury. He beat the absolute shit out of that guy. I don't know if any of y'all saw the pictures, but I'm looking at them right now.
I saw the pictures. They were pretty brutal.
I saw them down here just a second ago on
Poor
the
bastard.
page. But
well, I mean, just
Las Vegas Metro PD says the officers were dispatched to a local hospital at 5:50 p.m. on February 5th for a person who reported getting battered at a local nightclub. Battered, in quotation marks. After investigating, cops determined Kamara was allegedly the guy who doled out the beating. They were able to track down the 5-time Pro Bowler on Sunday and take him into custody without incident, according to police.
The man played in the game. The man played in the Pro Bowl. 4 passes, 6 targets for 23 yards. The man played.
I think more of the story is
don't fuck with Alvin
Kamara.
Don't fuck with an NFL player.
At the bar,
period.
especially.
Look,
you ever thought
obviously,
about it?
we don't have all the details right now. I'm sure he didn't just beat the fuck out of him.
His body is a trained
Las Vegas PD released a statement, but it was basically what Bryce just said. Hey, Longest Yard Part 2 featuring Henry Ruggs and Alvin Kamara.
Oh my god.
That prison football team's going to be sick.
And it's just like Zach said, and I didn't know this at all, Kamara still played in the Pro Bowl and went on to have 4 catches for 23 yards.
Yeah.
On 6 targets.
After he beat the shit out of a guy.
He was beat the fuck out of somebody.
Don't fight people whose only job is to make their body stronger.
Bail has been set for $5,000.
And I'll tell you what, I think the craziest...
Oh, no, $5,000.
$5,000?
What I think the craziest part about the whole situation, too, is that Las Vegas jail records still show Kamara being behind bars, too. And so, that means he just posted bail, basically. But it says that he was due to appear in court today, Monday, February the 7th.
Did he appear?
So he probably hasn't been able to leave the state yet. If
I
he's
hope he
still
appeared. Otherwise, Alvin Kamara's on the run.
There's another.
O.J. Simpson, number 2.
O.J.
So
OJ didn't do it.
And the story's still developing as they go.
I
So
agree
I
with
guess
you.
we're going to see what the verdict was today.
OJ definitely did that shit.
I don't know. I don't think he did.
he was arrested at the Allegiant Stadium.
Whoa.
He was arrested after playing?
He was
The
arrested. I'm looking at it right
stadium?
now. He was arrested at the Allegiant Stadium after playing in Sunday's game.
Damn.
At the stadium. So they let this man play. They had to have
They're
just
just-
like
Well, at
They're
that
just
point,
surrounding the stadium.
it sounds like nobody knew what had happened exactly.
the alleged victim.
Did they arrest
Darnell
him?
Green.
Did they arrest him after the game or during the game still?
It was after the game.
They
Look,
come onto the
listen,
field
The
in
alleged,
handcuffs.
the alleged victim, Darnell Green, was hospitalized and suffered an orbital fracture on his right eye.
So he
I guess
broke-
that's what
he
fuck-
broke-
he broke his face.
Yeah, he broke his his
One male who would later be identified as Alvin Kamara put his hand on Green's chest, stopping him from walking into the elevator, I guess. And then Green pushed Kamara's hand off his chest. Green stated he was pushed hard, which caused him to stumble back. After Green was pushed, he states he was being hit and kicked by multiple people and lost consciousness. The only one that Green can remember is he described as a black male in his 20s, approximately 5'10", muscular, and he had dreadlocks or braids. Kamara. Alvin Kamara remembers Green calling one of his friends ugly and then later said, "I'll whoop your ass too," the police report states. Kamara said he saw a fight break out next to him. He saw Green get punched. Kamara threw a couple punches, thinking the guy was running away. The police report says that Kamara stated he punched Green because he thought he was running away, but the video showed a different scene. There is a video in this story. The video disputes this, showing that Green was not running away, but he had in fact just been punched by Kamara's associate, and then Kamara immediately attacked him. Kamara, 26, has played running back for the Saints for 5 seasons, blah, blah, blah.
Imagine a
It's
guy
pretty
like
crazy.
Alvin Kamara attacking you, man. That's just like a spider monkey or something.
Yeah, if you're
So
Alvin
dude was
Kamara,
trying to get
though-
on the elevator. And
If
Kamara's
you're
like,
Alvin
"Nah, bro,
Kamara,
I'm
though,
not
just
getting into this."
don't fight people either.
Yeah,
why
I mean-
would
Oh,
you,
no, definitely
Why
not.
would
You know you're going to
It's at
get
a
caught.
nightclub.
Well,
You
let
might
your
have been drunk.
guys handle that even if you need to or something. But why would you get involved now?
Right, you're
You're
not
the
some-
only one he remembered. He didn't remember anybody. He was like a lot of guys and Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, because you're not some random guy in a bar that you're not going to remember and you'll never catch. It's one of the biggest stars in the NFL. I mean, can we talk about that Pro Bowl though? The 2-hand touch shit. What was that about?
Yeah, the Pro Bowl is going to be tweaked because, like in the MLB, at least when those two teams play, you're having home field advantage for the World Series being decided. And at least in the NBA, there's at least some form of showmanship in terms of alley-oops and breakaway dunks and a bunch of other things like deep three-pointers and stuff. But when you get to the Pro Bowl right now, it's just watered-down bull crap. Like, guys aren't hitting each other. Nobody wants to get – I can understand it. Why would you get hurt in a game that means nothing?
There was one
But
play.
overall, it's deteriorated to the point of, viewership is in the toilet. You've got ticket sales to the actual event way down. They used to have it out there in Hawaii every year, but it got so bad to a certain point out there because of the overall play level that they couldn't sell tickets out in Hawaii, so they moved it back over here to the mainland in the States. and now they're having the same type of problems again just because it's getting even softer.
Well, yeah, it's just because stuff like that. Like, who wants to watch a run through? Basically, I mean, it's 2-hand touch. Who wants to watch that? You're getting the biggest stars in the NFL together.
Nobody wants to get heated at each other at an event like that either.
I know, but still, I mean, it's a football game with the best players in the NFL. You want to see those players ball out and like actually play a game.
I agree. I think it would be a lot more.
We had one play.
It'd be a lot more lucrative if they tried harder.
Yeah, they had one play where Patrick Mahomes, he snapped the ball, and he was in the pocket for 15 seconds because the D-line is just, they're barely moving.
Another thing that adds on, another like interesting aspect to the NFL Pro Bowl as well as, it's the NFL season isn't as composed of as many games as like the MLB, the NHL, the NBA. So, those sports, they all have their All-Star games about halfway to about 3/4 of the way through the season, as compared to the NFL, who literally has it all the way at the very end. Like, I mean, there's guys that could have been Pro Bowlers in week 12 who might have gotten hurt in like week 14 or 15 that aren't there at that point. So it just adds a whole nother interesting dimension to things.
Question of the day from J Money. Would you rather time travel 10 years into the past or 5 years into the future? You just hang out there for 24 hours.
I think I'd go 10 years into the past just because I could get on the crypto wave.
Or 5 minutes into the future?
No, 5 years into the future.
I'd do the crypto wave 10 years in the past and become a rich-ass bastard.
So you can't go back either way.
You
go back. 24 hours.
You hang out there for 24 hours and then come back the present day.
I'm going to go future because I feel like, I understand what you're saying with crypto. But if you go in the future, you can also see what's about to be good.
Casket.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
If you go to the future, you can buy some lottery tickets.
Yeah, if you go to the future, you can see what's going to be good, what businesses are going to be good. Just
that's probably more lucrative,
actually. Into the past and try to do the old ones. I say you go to the future and do the new ones.
Yeah, I'll do the future then.
Yeah, if you want to go to the past, it's got to be for some historical shit.
Like go to the Revolutionary War or something.
Like something that happened.
But no, if I went 10 years into the past, I would definitely like sentimental time. But I would definitely like to see myself like play a baseball game when I was little, or see myself swimming with all my friends. Just something like that you don't have pictures of.
Tell yourself to hold that fart in, because you end up shitting yourself.
Give myself advice on that girl that I have a crush on. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know.
Thanks for joining us, guys. That's going to wrap it up today on Monday, February the 7th. Look forward to hearing all you guys' questions and input going forward.
No, sir. Let's see these MTSU boys put it up at the Glass House, baby. Let's get it.
Go Blue Raiders, boys. J Money signing off. I'll see y'all.
See you later.
Yep.